As I was walking, I could see the eyes, like I could see the eyes staring at me, and I could hear the thoughts in people's mind, like, gosh, what's wrong with this girl? As you can tell by the title, today I want to tell a story of my most embarrassing moment in 2025. Like, it's still fresh. The wound is still fresh. So like, but I was like, I want to share because I learned things from that story, and I was like, I'm gonna share it. You get. So, like I mentioned, that it's still fresh. So on Monday, what was Monday? The 14th of July. It was a new week, fresh week, new week. Everything's good, everything's fresh, and everything. So for context, we usually buy breakfast in my house. We usually buy what we want to eat for breakfast the morning when we're supposed to eat the breakfast. So as for Monday morning, it's just me, my sister, my dad had gone out, and we were to buy what we're going to eat for breakfast. So I was done, morning stuff. I was done working out, and then it was now a decision of who was going to go and buy the bread. And I didn't want to, because we're not going to buy bread close by. We're going to go to a supermarket to get the bread because their bread is better and all that. So my dad already dropped the money for it, and I didn't want to go. Like, after working, I just wanted to shower, like rest, and just move on with my life, move on maybe. And my sister also didn't want to go, and so it was a thing of, she doesn't want to go, I don't want to go. I was like, who's gonna go? Who's gonna go? And then I was like, in fact, I already begged, like I already angry, like I'm gonna be the bigger person, the person of service, the that's how I begged. I was like, I'm going to go. In fact, so I went to have my bag, I got dressed. I was like, in fact, I'm angry, I'm going. I already wore my big boy pants, like bigger person. That's how I started going. I went. So I got to the store, I picked up the bread, like in my anger, like I already gotten over the anger of the but shy in my feeling like the bigger person. I got the bread, and then I went to pay, and I only carried with me the money for the money that would buy the bread alone, and that was 1,400. So that was the only thing we need, and I bought the bread because that was the only thing we actually needed for breakfast. So I got there, bought the bread, and when I paid, she collected the money, she gave me receipt, and then she wasn't packing the bread, and I was like, remember that, what's up now? Like, wrap it up. And then it was at that moment, that light bulb moment, they're like, hey, oh, it was at that moment that I remembered that it had come. I think it's a policy in Lagos that you have to buy nylon bag. Like, if you want them to pack it for you, you have to either bring your bag that you used to carry whatever you are buying, or you have to pay for it. And in that moment, I was like, God, if I wasn't upset, I would have remembered to carry this bag and I was like, and I told her, like, oh my God, I didn't remember to bring the bag. And then she was like, madam, just put it in your clothes and go like that. And I was just like, when everything stops, and I was like, that math, that meme of someone thinking and then there's math, that's exactly how it is. What am I gonna do? And to get to my house from the supermarket, you have to walk, like, you pass main roads, all of that. And at that moment, I was like, see, if I stay here, it's embarrassing. If I go, it's embarrassing. What am I gonna do? I was like, well, as far as I shall reach my house. Like, the thing about me is that I did not show that I was disheveled or perturbed. I was like, oh yeah, don't worry, don't worry, just give me the receipt, I'll carry it. I held my bread in my hand, and I did the walk of shame. And funny thing is, as I was walking, I could see the eyes, like I could see the eyes staring at me, and I could hear the thoughts in people's mind, like, gosh, what's wrong with this girl? Like, what, there's no nylon? Like, what? Like, I could feel the judgment. I could, like, even people that were inside bus of keke would look outside. Some people, their face was constant, like, you could get a nylon, girl. Like, why are you not? And some people were just like, hey, and all of that. But they were not saying anything, but I could feel it. So, but you know me now, I carried my head like, what? I was just thinking of different things in my mind, like, what? Who said they has to be nylon? Who said, like, what if I'm even doing eco climate change activism where give me my bread in my hand and all of that? I was trying to convince myself. And then another thing, and I saw someone that I know on the road. Assuming it was even the strangers. I mean, you will not see me again, Abby, and all of that. And I got into the estate. I saw someone I knew. I had to greet the person and his mom. I was like, God, why me? Why today? I shall go back to the house. And that was the relief. Like, I finally got home. It was actually very embarrassing. Like, it had never happened to me before. And so when I got thinking, because after that I used to usually just think about the experiences that I have, and then what was funny about this, like, and all of that. And then the main thing that I actually got from it was, I thought that if I saw someone else in that shoe, like if I saw someone, like I was walking on the road and then I saw someone holding the bread they bought from the supermarket in their hand, what would be in my mind is that I would do the same thing that those people were doing, and I would just like, stop with you, like, are you good? Are you fine? And but then because I was the one who was, in that, I was the one in the circumstance, and I was just like, no, now it was because I was rushing, because I was making excuses for myself. And it reminded me of something we taught in psychology in school, where I don't know the word for it. If I find the word, I'll write it in the video. But basically, it's this thing where when you show some behavior, you give yourself, like, you make excuses for yourself, like, okay, this has to be why, because you have sufficient information of yourself. You have enough information to judge that, okay, this wasn't a deliberate act, it was because so thing happened and that was why. But when it's someone else, it's easy to attribute that behavior to who they are, like, or to the fact that they did it intentionally and all of that. I started thinking that, that's exactly what just happened here, in the sense that I knew that the reason why I was doing it is not my fault and it wasn't deliberate, but that was only because I had sufficient information. These people that were looking at me funny didn't have sufficient information. And then what I could just glean from the whole experience was that, to be honest, it's easy to judge when you don't know how, like, what happened to that person. But then I think the point of the whole thing was just, even not about bread or about people not being with nylon, but just this thing of generally in life, to just give people grace and know that you don't have sufficient information to judge anybody. And I think it just helped me see that, okay, you too could have been in that shoe. The point of what I learned from the story was actually that I need to give people grace and not judge based on the lack of information that I have, and just feel like, this person is this. When if I was in that shoes, I would actually make excuses for my own behavior. And yeah, if you got anything from this video, I don't want to share, because like, it was too funny and embarrassing for it to just happen, for it to just happen to me. There has to be purpose in it, you get. So that's what I'm sharing. But really, I think this is an encouragement to give people grace. People, you see people maybe doing certain things, before you just pass judgment, just try to think, okay, if I were in that situation, what could have led me to this? Not like validating wrong things that people do, or even like things that are just not proper that people do, but also knowing that, I do not have sufficient information to judge this person, or if I were in those shoes, yeah, what response would I want people to give to me? I think that me holding that bread, I would have preferred if somebody was like, I have a nylon, come and put it, or I don't know. So in that same thing of just put yourself in other people's shoes even before you judge or make judgment. I hope my embarrassing story was I learned from it, so I hope it was funny. I hope it was useful to you. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. See you in the next video. Bye. Oh, God, I did laugh myself. Funny stuff. This is Super Story. A life of strife and sorrow. No matter the time. You don't do. Yeah.